Hi fellas, this is Chemaddicts again to the solution. Today we are going to learn the following. One of the reasons behind climate changes, name of the major product from burning hydrocarbon which is responsible for climate changes, what is greenhouse gas effect and effect it has on the environment. First of all, let us know what is a climate change. Okay, so a climate change it is mainly due to the changes of temperature throughout the year. So the climate that has changed due to the changes of temperature throughout the year. So let's find these points by answering this question. Okay. So let's see what does this question ask. Which of the following fuels when burned and would make no significant contribution to climate change? So the question asks which of the following fuels when burned would make no significant contribution to climate change. So what does the climate change means? As I have said earlier that it is the result due to the change in temperature, such as the ice melts, then the flooding happens. As you have all known, these are called climate changes. Very cold in winter, very hot in summer. These are climate changes. Why does this happen? Let's see. Okay, so reasons behind climate change. Okay, so the first reason is the because of the emission of carbon dioxide from burning fossil fuel. Burning, more specifically fossil fuel. Okay, so emission of carbon dioxide from burning fossil fuel. So why? Why does the emission of carbon dioxide causes climate change? How? Why there is a link? Is there any link between this emission of carbon dioxide with climate change? Yes, of course it has. Let's see how. So first, the second point will tell us how. Okay. So carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. Greenhouse gas. So what is a greenhouse gas and what does greenhouse gas do? So let us see. The third point will say the answer. So the carbon dioxide gas is a greenhouse gas, as we all know. Carbon dioxide gas is a greenhouse gas and it is also responsible for global warming. I will tell the reasons later. Okay. Responsible. I'll tell the reason a bit later. Okay. Carbon dioxide is responsible for global warming. So how it causes global warming? That's because that is the fourth point. It causes climate change by trapping. It causes the climate change by trapping infrared trapping and emitting infrared radiation. Where does the infrared radiation come from? It comes from the sun. Okay, I will explain it later on this video tutorial. Okay, please hook on. Which causes global warming? Which causes global warming by rising Earth's temperature annually. Okay, so let's see how. Suppose this is the sun. This is the sun and this is the earth. There are more planets, we know. So this is the earth. Mercury, Venus, earth. So here where the earth is situated. Okay. The earth has more layers, as we all know, layers of atmosphere. So in there is a layer where there are carbon dioxide gases. Okay. So carbon dioxide gases. Raining outside. That's because of global warming. I know it's raining outside in my place. Okay, it's thundering a lot. Well, let's get back to the topic. So the sun emitted infrared radiation to the earth. Infrared radiation, IR. Infrared radiation to the earth. The earth absorbs this infrared radiation. The earth, land, soil, anything absorbs this infrared radiation during the day and releases it at night. So it releases infrared radiation at night. Okay, so whenever the earth releases infrared radiation during the night, some of the infrared radiation is being trapped by the greenhouse gas. Okay, so carbon dioxide is one of them. There are many greenhouse gases. You will come to know in Unit 2, Organic Chemistry of Unit 2, the greenhouse, green chemistry in green chemistry. Okay, it is discussed in details in green chemistry, how it is been done. Okay, so the infrared radiation that is released from Earth at night is been some of the infrared radiation are trapped by carbon dioxide. Since carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, it traps carbon dioxide. Infrared radiation is being trapped by carbon dioxide. So this carbon dioxide releases sorry, this carbon dioxide absorbs infrared radiation, and it prevents some of the infrared radiation being released from the earth. So what happens? The earth remains warm. So for the time being, it keeps the infrared radiation, and it results in rising temperature. Rise. This results in rise in temperature of earth, and this is how the global warming occurs. So as you know that if there are more number of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, it will cause rise in temperature, since it will trap most of the infrared radiation that is being emitted by earth. Okay, so for the time being there will be a rise in temperature. So you will ask, I know that you will ask now, that what will happen during the winter. During the winter it is much cooler. That's because all at that time all the carbon dioxide releases infrared radiation, and there is no heat in some places on the earth. There are some cold places on the earth where there is no infrared radiation at all. That's why. So there are most cooler places in earth. So that is why it is happening like this, and this effect is called global warming. Global warming effect. Okay, so this is called global warming effect. This rise of the earth's temperature, and it has a very bad effect on the earth. How? Because if the temperature of earth rises, the glacier will uh, the, the iceberg in Antarctica will melt, and eventually there will be more water in this earth, and it will flow down to the lowest lower area lower area of the region, and this will cause flood. That is why flooding occurs. So this has a lot more effect, lot bad effect on the earth. So let's see how do we supposed to decrease this effect. Well, let's look at the answer. Look at this question. The question tells us the answer. Okay, so which of the following fuels when burned would make no significant contribution to climate change? Okay, so now let's see which one produces carbon dioxide. At first let us see which one produces carbon dioxide. Methane contains carbon dioxide. Sorry, methane contains hydrocarbons. Methane is a part of hydrocarbons. Let us first find which are the hydrocarbons. Methane is hydrocarbon. Petrol is hydrocarbon. And coal contains carbon. So the resources which contains carbon will eventually produce carbon dioxide. Okay, is produced. So these three when burned will produce carbon dioxide. But when we burn only hydrogen only, will produce no carbon dioxide. I hope that you have got the answer. No carbon dioxide is produced. Okay, I hope that you have understood the question as well as the answer. Well, fellas,